What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give out takes on professional wrestling. It is Thursday night, April 3rd, 2025, and tonight we are here on the Big Fight Field channel to preview AEW Dynasty. We're going to go over all the matches happening on the show, and we are going to do predictions for the show as well. Haven't done an AEW review podcast since March 12th with everything that's been going on with March Madness. And last night I planned on doing an AEW review podcast, but I ended up going to the Phillies game. And it was very much worth it. I had a great time. The Phillies won. And now we are here tonight, and we're going to talk Dynasty. And I'm going to say it in the beginning and at the end. For those of you that don't know, I will be at the show on Sunday at the Liacouras Center in Philadelphia. I haven't been to the Liacouras Center in nearly 6 years. The last time I was there was the third episode of AEW Dynamite. And it's pretty cool now being able to go back to the very destination where I saw my first AEW show live. So it's going to be very cool. And it's going to be my second ever AEW pay-per-view attended. The first AEW pay-per-view I attended was Revolution in 2022 in Orlando, Florida. That was one of the best wrestling shows that I've ever seen. And I can't remember the last time I went to an AEW. I think I didn't go to an AEW show in 2024. 2024 was all WWE shows. I think the last time I was at an AEW show was in Newark, New Jersey in 2023 for a Collision. That's what I think. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But I'm so excited. I'm thrilled to be at the show. We are going to be vlogging. I have a microphone now that we're going to be using for portions of the vlog because I don't really know how it's going to pick up the sound around me, so I can't really use it during the entrances and stuff. But at portions during the vlog, we are going to use the microphone that I purchased, and I'm very excited to show you guys. And overall, I'm just excited for the show. I think the build's been very good. I've been invested into it. The AEW World Championship match is very unpredictable. There's a couple bangers on the show. Is it a better card than the AEW Revolution show that we had a couple weeks ago? No, it's not. Straight up, it's not a better card than Revolution. But it's a great card. And there's a lot of titles on the line. There is 7 championship matches. And the Owen Hart tournament's going to start on Sunday, which is very much sooner than expected. And we're already seeing storylines in the mix for All In. And they announced last night on Dynamite that they have a full display of All In week. They have, like how WWE has WrestleMania week, AEW now has All In week, and it starts July 9th in Dallas for Dynamite, July 10th in Dallas again for Collision, Friday and Saturday for StarCast. Friday night is Death Before Dishonor at the Esports Stadium Arena in Dallas, and then Saturday is the big All-In show, and it starts at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. So it's an afternoon pay-per-view start, which I absolutely love. It's going to be hot as fuck for the people that are going to be going to that show. If the show was anywhere but Texas, I would consider going. But sitting in that arena, I'm pretty sure the roof's going to be closed. But sitting in that arena in what's probably going to be 100 degrees that day, that air conditioner inside the Globe Life Field, the AC better be blasting during the show. But we're not here to talk about All In. We are 3 months away for All In. We got Dynasty first this weekend. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Let's get into it. And I'm going to start off with a match that Hasn't been confirmed yet, but I think it's going to get confirmed on Collision. It's for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Hair versus or not hair versus mask. Mask versus title. Bandito against Chris Jericho. They've been feuding for a long time now. And they had a match back in February, which Jericho beat Bandito. It was a great match on the main event of Collision. And then Jericho went to the pre show to wrestle Gravity, and the match never started because him, Bill, and Brian Keith all laid out Bandito and Gravity. Jericho took the mask, and now he wants the mask of Bandito. And the feud's been going on for a long time, and it's going to end here. Bandito is going to win the Ring of Honor World Championship. The mask is his identity, and it hasn't been confirmed yet. But if it is, I'm going to pick Bandito to win. So now we can get to the confirmed matches, which we're going to start with the two Owen Hart Cup tournament matches. We'll start with the quarterfinals for the men's first. We have Will Ospreay going one-on-one with Kevin Knight. And Kevin Knight just debuted last Saturday on Collision against Jay White. And I'm pretty sure all of you know the Owen Hart brackets, so I'm not going to waste your time by going over them because I wasn't able to review the show last night. You guys already know that. You guys already know the brackets. But Kevin Knight, he debuted last Saturday on Collision against Jay White, had a good match, and I thought he looked great last night on Dynamite in that tag team match with Will Ospreay against Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. I thought that was a very fun tag team match, and this is a ginormous match for Kevin Knight. He is being thrown in right with the Sharks. He's going in the deep end, swimming with the Sharks, and he's facing Mr. Pay-Per-View for AEW. Will Ospreay is a 5-star machine when it comes to AEW pay-per-views. And will this one get 5 stars? I don't know. But this is a ginormous match for Kevin Knight. I can't wait to see what he does in this match with Will Ospreay. Ospreay's obviously going to win. I think we all know the men's side's a little bit more predictable than the women's side, in my opinion. But I think when this is all said and done, the finals of the Owen Hart Cup tournament for the men's is going to be Will Ospreay against Adam Hangman Page. But for this match at Dynasty, I'm going to take Will Ospreay to get the win over Kevin Knight. And then the women's quarterfinal match, we have Mercedes Moné against Julia Hart. No TBS title on the line. Mercedes doesn't really need to be in this tournament, in my opinion. I feel like there's women who could have used the spot in the tournament over Mercedes. She's already carrying 4 belts. She's more than likely not going to win the title. Mercedes versus Toni Storm would be a big match to do at All In, but to me right now it doesn't really make sense. Mercedes is probably going to win against Julia on Sunday. I expect it to be a good match. I think Julia Hart is very underrated. She was the TBS champion just last year, and she was kind of feuding with Mercedes for a little bit. But I expect this to be good. But Mercedes is going to pick up this win. And I think she would take on Jamie Hayter or Billy Starks in the second round. I'd have to go check that back. But I'm going to take Mercedes to get the win over Julia Hart on Sunday night. And then we get to our 7 championship matches happening at this show. We'll start off with, we already talked about the Ring of Honor Championship, if that's going to be on the line. Let's talk about the Trios titles, which is the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac defending against Rated FTR. That's FTR and Adam Copeland. Now, we're teasing a big turn here because 2 weeks ago, when Cope got his rematch for the AEW Championship, FTR was out there to help him. And they didn't get the job done, and Cope ended up losing that match clean to Jon Moxley. And after the match, Dax walked out. He just straight up walked out. And then I think it was this past Saturday on Collision, it was Dax Harwood against Wheeler Yuta. Well, I'm fast forwarding too much. Last week on Dynamite, the three of them had an interview with Tony Schiavone. And Dax was like, we need to get back to what FTR's focus has always been, the tag team titles. We challenge the Hurt Syndicate. And Cash is like, we still have legs with Rated FTR. We still have juice in the tank to go after the Trios Championships. So Cash was the one who wanted to go after the Trios titles, not Dax. And then Saturday, Dax lost to Wheeler Yuta and shoved the referee and shoved Cash Wheeler. And that was the breaking point for Cash, as he's like, no, fuck you, and walked out. And now we got this match, and it should be fun, but I think it's all swerve. And I think this is pretty similar to when New Day turned heel back in December, when it was Kofi and Woods, and they were bickering and arguing for months and months. I think it's going to be very similar to that. I think Dax and Cash, obviously, they're not on the same page right now. But I think this is all a ruse. I think Copeland's going to take the pin on Sunday. The Death Riders are going to retain the Trios titles. And then after the match, we get a beatdown. We get a classic FTR beatdown onto Adam Copeland. And we can do a ton of matchups with FTR as heels. We could do FTR against Roddy and Kyle as heels. And do FTR versus Top Flight. FTR versus the Hurt Syndicate. FTR versus Edge and Christian. That might be the match they go for at All In. If we're being honest here. FTR versus Edge and Christian very well could be the match at All In. I'm speaking way down the road. But for this show, I think we see that turn. If it's not happening on Sunday, it's happening very soon. So, Death Riders retain the Trios titles. Copeland is taking an ass beating. Then we get to the tag team titles, and I'm not really going to spend too much time on this one. I am excited to see the Hurt Syndicate and sing We Hurt People and chant We Hurt People from the top of my lungs. But this is a Plan B match. It is the Hurt Syndicate defending their tag team titles against Big Bill and Brian Keith. And this is the most obvious match on the card. Bill and Keith have no chance winning these tag team titles. The Hurt Syndicate are going to retain. This was originally supposed to be Brian Cage and Lance Archer going up against the Hurt Syndicate. Brian Cage is hurt. Plans got scrapped. They put Big Bill and Brian Keith in there. The storyline is Bill and Keith, they need to go out and they need to impress Chris Jericho. And they need to make Jericho's investment worth it. And they're going to come up short. And they're going to lose on Sunday. I'm sure it'll be a fine match. I'm just not that excited for it, if I'm going to be honest with you. Hurt Syndicate retain the tag team titles. And then we get to the kind of like big matches I would say, on the show. The four biggest matches on the show: the world title, the women's title, the international title, and the TNT title. And that's kind of the match we're going to start with. Not start with, my fault, but talk about next is that TNT championship. On the line, Daniel Garcia defending that title for a third time against Adam Cole. And to be honest with you, you look at this card. Out of all the matches on this show, this one has the most build to it. These two, Cole, Daddy Magic, and Garcia, and the Undisputed Kingdom, they've been feuding now for about 3 months, I would say. I'd say they've been feuding since January. And they did Garcia with Kyle. They threw Shane Taylor promotions in there. And then back in March 1st, they did Garcia and Cole, which ended up being a DQ. They did the match again a couple weeks later, and it ended up being a time limit draw. It was a great match, though. And now, the stipulation for this one is no time limits, no outside interference. What does that mean if there is no time limits? Ladies and gentlemen, I expect this to be a really long match. So if you like watching Adam Cole wrestle, and if you like watching Daniel Garcia wrestle, I've got a treat for you. A no time limit match where there's no time limit at all. They can go 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. The whole point of a no time limit match is to go longer than the actual time limit. And the time limit for an AEW is 20 minutes. So I expect this to be a pretty long match. I expect this to go really long. I expect this to be really damn good. Now, who's going to win? I'm going with Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole has been in AEW for nearly 5 years now. Going back in 2021. 4 years, I should say. And he's never a singles champion, I think. I don't think Adam Cole's ever won a championship in AEW. I need to look that up because I'm pretty sure he has not. Has Adam Cole won a championship in AEW? And AI says no. As of April 3rd, Adam Cole has not won a championship in AEW. It's time to get some fucking gold on Adam Cole. He would feel absolutely directionless if he does not win this match. And Daniel Garcia has had a bad reign as TNT champion. Again, it's not his fault. It's creative's fault. It's Tony Khan's fault. Daniel Garcia, I love that guy. Daniel Garcia is awesome. But he's done nothing for that TNT championship. Again, it was a moment. It was a great moment. Winning the title from Jack Perry in November. And he's been the champion for 4 months now. And he really hasn't done anything with it besides this feud. And this needs to be the culmination of it. We need to get that championship on Adam Cole. And I know he's not the same guy as he was, 3 years ago. But, man, put a title on him. Let that man work. Let that man be one of the bigger names on Collision. And let that man defend the title on Collision. He's still good. He's still really damn good. He's not the same as he once was. But he's still a really damn good wrestler. And I expect this to be a really damn good match with Adam Cole Bebe walking out TNT champion. The Women's Championship, Megan Bayne is challenging Toni Storm for the AEW Women's Championship. Megan Bayne has all the momentum coming into this match. She's beaten Thunder Rosa. She beat Chris Statlander again. She's pinned the women's champion Toni Storm. She pinned her in a tag team match last week. She has all the momentum. They are giving her a monster push right now. My only problem is she's not going to win this match. Where is she going to go after this? She's not an Owen. What's next for Megan Bayne once she loses to Toni Storm? That's my worry. The match should be good. Should be a good match. Toni Storm's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. Megan Bayne is solid. Still haven't heard her talk, but I expect this to be a good match. And she needs a mouthpiece. And a credible mouthpiece. Someone not named Penelope Ford. But I expect this to be good. And Toni Storm's going to retain. And then we might have what is the match of the night. This three-way for the International Championship. Holy shit, I'm excited for this one. This is probably, I wouldn't say the match I'm looking forward to most. That's probably the main event. But I would say out of all the matches on the card, this is probably going to be the best one. Ricochet, Mike Bailey, and Kenny Omega for the International Championship. Their four-way number one contender match ended in a double pinfall, so it resulted in Ricochet and Speedball getting a chance at the International Champion, Kenny Omega, and there hasn't really been much build to it. I don't fucking care though, man. Who cares? I'm going to see this in person. This match is more than likely going to be insane. This is probably going to be your match of the night. I can't wait to see Kenny Omega in person. I haven't seen him in person, and I think since the first episode of Dynamite at the third episode of Dynamite at the Liacouras Center. So I'm excited to see Kenny, and Kenny's gonna win. Kenny just won the title, and I think Speedball's gonna take the pin because maybe they're protecting Ricochet, and maybe they're gonna do a feud between Ricochet and Kenny Omega for that championship. But dude, these three guys, they're gonna absolutely cook on Sunday night for the International Championship. And I got Kenny Omega walking out still International Champion. And then the main event. The match we're all here for. Swerve Strickland versus Jon Moxley. It's the reason we're all here. And after last night, where Moxley gave Willow Nightingale a paradigm shift, we had that epic face-to-face with Swerve and Hangman. Hangman's in the Owen Hart tournament. And we had the ending to Dynamite where Moxley powerbombed, or it was Claudio who powerbombed Swerve into glass, which, by the way, it looked bad. It definitely looked like plastic because that glass was sticking to his back, and it absolutely looked like plastic. There was no blood whatsoever, and the dude was smiling, and they played his music after he sat up from the powerbomb. I don't know. I didn't really like that ending to the show last night. I did love the Hangman and Swerve stuff, though. I loved that. But, fuck. There's no way Jon Moxley walks out as the AEW World Champion. He can't. It's over. It is 100% over on Sunday night. Swerve, I've said it before and I'll say it again. He's the ace of AEW. He is their guy. And now we have rekindled, we have sparked the Swerve Hangman rivalry back. And Hangman's going to win the Owen Hart Cup. Swerve is going to win the AEW World Championship Sunday night. And we get Swerve versus Hangman in the main event of All In Texas this year. I think the match is going to be great. There's going to be a ton of interference. If they don't break up earlier in the show, I think Rated FTR get involved in the match. I think Willow gets involved in the match. And god damn it, maybe Hangman gets involved in the match and helps Swerve win the AEW World Championship just to take it from him down the line. So, those are my Dynasty predictions. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited for Sunday night. I'm going to be at the show, vlogging, going to get there early, get my merch, and I got really good seats too, man. So it's going to be an epic vlog. I can't wait to bring it to you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. Comment down below your predictions for AEW Dynasty on Sunday. I want to know them down below. Follow me on Twitter, Conlon_Joseph, and TikTok as well, Conlon_Joseph. Alright, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for SmackDown, and I will see you then. Have a good night, stay safe, and as always, stay classy, and love wrestling. Peace.